Welcome to the program. From wherever you are watching us from, there is the People's Bench, where we bring it the way it is. I am your host, Fred Ogweno, and we are coming to you live from Game Suits here in Riverside, Nairobi. And today we're going to look at what is affecting our country. We are in a broad-based system of government. Whether this is what Gen Zs asked for, they ask for accountability. I'm told they ask for end to corruption. We are here with none other than Mwalimu Mr. Odoyo Owidi to look at this. But again, also don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel, that is at Fred Ogweno Live, and we're going to look at this together with Mr. Odoyo Owidi, the chairman himself. How are you, Mwalimu? Mr. Chairman. This is your camera. Yes. How have you been?
I'm good, I can't complain. Steadfast.
Yes, I can see. Now, tell me, again, Gen Zs have come from nowhere. They are scaring your president again, you know, with mandamanos. We saw what happened over the weekend.
You know,
are they coming back?
You know, I've told you before. Gen Zs are an army owned by somebody. But they are very good because they have taken a name that encompasses all that age group in Kenya. But it's a specific army owned by somebody that he sets on you when he wants and calls them back to truce when he wants. Let me tell you something. There are things that have happened in this country in the past. When these Gen Zs were already Gen Zs, they were already adults, and they did nothing. You see, these people went to a church, and the reason they went to a church is because that church had received 20 million shillings for church development by a well-wisher. Incidentally, the well-wisher was a leader, the President of the Republic of Kenya. But take note that these Gen Zs are largely Christians. When they read the book of Chronicles, they will find out that King David donated gold and building materials and other valuables that was enough to build the first tabernacle, to build the first temple for the Lord. We remember that. And if you do the calculations with the current rate of gold and bronze, you'll find that what King David donated was in excess of 1.3 trillion Kenya shillings of today. And that was the king of Israel.
But would he do the same when people are going without food? Why would you donate 20 million to a church when kids are not going to school? You know, the CDF money is not there. When kids are at home, when people are going without food, Mwalimu, does it make sense?
Thank you very much. That is a good question. Now that takes me to example number 2, because something about me that I love so much, everything I say, I can always qualify it. I can always get a section of the Bible, a section of society of recorded things to defend it with. On 20th June 2022, President Uhuru Kenyatta went to Kasarani. What was happening at Kasarani? The Akorino sect were praying there. President Uhuru Kenyatta donated 5 acres of land, which he declared was from the government, and it was worth 100 million. On the same podium, President Uhuru Kenyatta donated 10 million Kenya shillings for church development. On the same pulpit, he donated 1 million for the church leaders. On the same pulpit, he declared that 4 members of the church will be appointed board members and chairmen. One sitting. And then the message was, vote for my candidate, vote for Raila Odinga. That may not be very necessary for now. Now, at that point in time, Unga had reached the ceiling. At that point in time, fuel prices had reached the ceiling. And Uhuru Kenyatta, what did he do? He went to the Consolidated Fund and got money and was now providing subsidies for Unga and for fuel. At that point in time, the economy was worse than it is today. Today, fuel is much less than what it used to cost then. Unga is now much less than what it used to cost then. But these Gen Zs were in existence, and their master was also in existence. They never said anything about President Uhuru Kenyatta's donations to the Akorino sect. And this is not the first time Uhuru has done this. He had done this to another Catholic church in Kiambu, where he donated 5 million. These people never complained. They never said anything. But also, to tell me that these so-called Gen Zs who are not were right to go to demonstrate in a church because a church had received money whose source they did not know. I don't know if there is anywhere in the Bible or in the Kenyan statute books where whenever you donate something to a church, you should go to the church or to the public and declare to them where you got that money. And even if you are in doubt of where the money came from, let us also understand that the media in this country once reported that President William Ruto has an annual income from his chicken of 567 million. And this is a person that the media has told us owns several hotels in this country and real estate that he gets rent from. Why would we imagine he would go and steal money to go and donate to a church rather than take from his business to donate to a church? Why is it President William Ruto that is not supposed to donate to a church, but other people do donate? I have told Kenyans before that what we are experiencing in Kenya today, the anti-Ruto rhetoric that we are seeing in Kenya today, is sponsored by people who believe only them can govern this country, but not anybody from another community.
And why is your government not arrested them?
Who? Arrested who?
Those people who are supporting the Gen Zs.
It is their right to support the Gen Zs.
But we have seen people being abducted left, right, and center. How comes the
abductions people are talking about are a creation of the media? The media is, this country has decided that they are going to fight Ruto until they remove him. In fact, let me tell the country, President William Ruto's enemies are not the people of Mount Kenya. They are not Gachagua. President William Ruto's enemy is the Kenyan media. Whatever President William Ruto did to this media, that they have decided that they are going to fight him and to death, I don't know. I remember today in the Nation newspaper, let me mention them by name. If you want to edit it, that is your problem. The headline was reading about one Ruto man who is now opening up about some 123 million. On the side, on a single column out of the 6 columns on the front page, there was a story that the building of the Rironi Mau Summit Road will begin in June. I thought, from where I sit, I am not a journalist, that should have been the headline. But they want to fight the president. So anything negative about the president and the presidency and the government will take the center stage in the headline. Anything pro the government and pro the president and pro the presidency will take a far column corner hidden with words that are not so appealing. That you can check even today's paper, any other day's paper. The war against President Ruto from the media is unprecedented. In fact, they are very lucky President William Ruto is that good man who he is. President Uhuru Kenyatta shut down the TV stations just because they were reporting live how people were being killed in the streets after an election. Because they were reporting real live. That was all. But they did not chase Uhuru Kenyatta for several hours the way they are chasing Ruto 24 hours a day.
I'm a journalist by training, Mwalimu.
Yes.
Is it not the same media that you are talking about that gives you time? You who is pro-Ruto, even today, you are in a certain media house. I mean, don't you think that it is right for you also to take that opportunity to speak good about Ruto if anybody is speaking about him?
I have done so, but I am not on the air 24 hours a day, but the media itself is on the air 24 hours a day, 30 days a month, 365 days a year, and that time they are on air, they are using. So my 1.5 hours or 10 minutes on air cannot challenge these people. Let me tell you, there is a media house, and I think you are very close to it. Their English TV has told people a few times that Owidi has said he will never come to a media house. I have even called some of these people and told them, I think I need to come here and come and defend my president, because some of the things I hear people saying are wrong and untrue. But so many people are scared. We need to tell these people the truth. I have never said that I do not want to go to that media house. I have told them I want to go. But when people tell them I am busy, maybe you could call Owidi because he will say what I would say. They tell them Owidi has said he doesn't want to come here. What they fear is being told clear truth without mincing words, without coating it with sugar so that it tastes well. Let's tell people the truth. For example, this thing that you people keep on shouting about, the media has brought it up again, the SHA. And I want to tell Kenyans, SHA is the agency President William Ruto formed to manage Taifa Care. In that Taifa Care that is being managed by SHA, there is primary health care, which is done to prevent diseases, and the treatment is done in level 1 and 2 hospitals. And it is done for free. Then there is SHIF, which is exactly identical to NHIF. It is done from level 4 upwards and so on. And you can only get treatment there when you are a registered contributor. Then there is emergency critical diseases. That one is going to also be free. That is another fund separate. The fourth fund is the health infrastructure fund. All these are in Taifa Care, managed by SHA, Social Health Authority. But when you hear people who do not even understand those things and cannot distinguish them, call them she, sha, show, are also saying it is not working, it tells you how they know nothing about SHA.
Doctors have issued a 7-day notice strike. Next week they are on strike. Are you saying that you understand this thing better than the doctors themselves who are complaining?
Are they striking as doctors or as patients? It is patient who are supposed to complain that this is not working. But when you see a doctor who took how many years in university coming to tell her, oh, you know, SHA is not working. SHA, what is SHA? SHA is just an organization. What should be working are hospitals. And what should be underwriting the work the hospitals have done is SHIF. Not even SHA. SHA is an organization. It should be paying, underwriting. So when you hear a doctor coming to say SHA is not working, what do they mean SHA is not working? What should be working are hospitals. And who should be paying is SHIF. And you know what happens? There are some hospitals in this country, I mean some counties in this country, that remit the SHIF contributions to SHA 3 months later. And there are 39 of them out of the 47. And you know what that means? It means any of their employees who goes to seek treatment in any hospital will be told that you cannot get the treatment because you are in arrears. And when the county finally pays, they are again in arrears for another 3 months. So at any given time, they will never get treatment. And what do they say? SHA is not working. It means they don't even understand it.
One would say that you are a good student of President William Ruto, almost in denying everything, because just the other day, you were here in Kenya, when we saw patients walk out of Kenyatta, from KNH, all the way, they stormed the press conference by the Cabinet Secretary for Health, and then the ministry later on admitted that indeed the systems were wrong and they are fixing it. How would you say that all these things are working when Kenyans who are using them have come out to say that this thing is not working?
Let me tell you one more thing. You have watched movies before. Are those reality or they are acted? People who are acting, people who are sent by the detractors of the president. Do you know my office as a chairman, a very small person in the pecking order, a woman would not walk like that into the boardroom and start shouting the way that man did.
What do you do?
Unless somebody, the security arrangement.
It's a public office.
It's public offices have order. Public offices have order. That's why you see every public office, there is a reception, there is security, there is order. You say whom you want to go and see, what you want to go and see from, then you go. But did they go there to say we want to go and shout at the boardroom? They didn't. So somebody pushed them in through, complete with cameras, to go and record the mayhem and take it to public. In fact, they are very lucky they are living during President William Ruto's reign, where people who do things like that are treated very well with children's gloves. Those are the people who should have taken 3 days in jail, having been jailed for public disorder. Why would we arrest drunk men who cause noise in public and we leave somebody who is sane, not drunk, who goes to interrupt government business? And I have explained to you that this idea of chief is not working is not true. These are creations of people. In any case, today, for example, my county, Homa Bay, there were only 6% registered for NHIF. Today, there are 40%. 40% of 1 million people living in Homa Bay. You know what the figure is? Those are registered. So out of those 400,000 people, do you know it is possible that you get a few people in there who went, they had not been registered, so theirs could not work. Who went, their identity could not be ascertained, so it did not work. Who went to get treatment under chief when they are not contributed, so they should have gotten treatment under primary health care. And because they don't know, they went shouting all over that that chief is not working. I even read one Homa Bay who was complaining that he went to the referral hospital and he was told he cannot be treated there under chief. And that is true, because if you are not a contributor, it means you can only be treated under primary health care where the treatment is free. But if you register and you are contributing, you will be treated under chief. That starts from level 4 upwards. So there, you should only be referred there to get the treatment. So these are the problems we have, because the Taifa Care has come with a set of funds. Primary health care is meant even for those who have not paid. But how do we identify where they should be treated? How do we separate that they should not be treated under chief but under primary health care? By the hospital they are going to. They are going to local dispensary, level 1, 2 plus.
I hear you.
So if they go to the wrong hospital, then they go and complain chief is not working. And there are some people cheering them on, which is the media. There are some people cheering them on, which are the detractors of President William Ruto. And then you pick it up and you tell me, because there are some people making noise, that chief will not be working, so it is not working. Do you know how NHIF wasn't working? But because there are no people who had taken it upon themselves as their duty to say NHIF is not working. Nobody even got to know. And also, you know, the hospitals, the private ones, which used to make a lot of money under NHIF, are the ones fighting chief, are the ones fighting the organization SHA. Those people. Do you know, there are 4,000 hospitals in the country today who used to get money per month from NHIF. Today, under chief, they have not presented any claim at all because they were fake. And they are the ones fighting back to get in the system, to get back into the gravy train of social health.
Yet every day we see report from the Auditor General, we see report from the Controller of Budgets of massive corruption, massive looting happening in the country. The other day you said that President William Ruto should be a benevolent dictator.
Let me tell you, my brother, Auditor General you are talking about, the Controller of Budgets you are talking about, are incapable of finding out corruption and not corruption. What they do is present their reports. The report they present can only be investigated by EACC to find if it was corruption, can only be investigated by DCI to find if it was corruption. They cannot come here and tell us that those two ladies have investigated Kenyans and found this corruption. They can only report to us. Like the other day, there was a very misleading report of 1.3 trillion that was withdrawn outside the finance system. First of all, Kenya has a budget of 3.6 trillion. In 7 months, it is ordinary. It is in order for 1.3 billion or more to have been drawn from the system. The only thing we can now talk about, how it was withdrawn, which we should complain about for those who know how finance systems works in this country. But remember, the people who draw this money, sometimes they are drawn for things which cannot pass through the system. Even the reporter himself said they were drawn to pay pensions. The pensioners, many of them do not even have bank accounts. They are paid through a different system. And there are many, many other things paid in this country that cannot go through that system because either they are not registered in the system or they have no bank accounts or such things. So to come and tell the public, like I had another commentator saying on TV, that a whooping 1.3 trillion was looted. If you stole even a half of that money in Kenya today, the country will collapse. So don't tell us lies and counter lies, and the media pushes it forward like it's truth.
Why do you think media would be so much against President William Ruto? Because you keep on repeating that.
They know, the media knows why they are. Actually, I should be asking the media, why are you so much against President William Ruto? Even when you hear TV hosts talk, you wonder why they are patriotic enough. You wonder what they want of this country. And you know, there are people who can take others for a ride. And some of you in the media, you are in the bandwagon going, but you don't know some people are leading you to the wrong place. There was a video I saw one time of somebody who was leading sheep. And the sheep were following him, so he was going around a fire. When the last sheep came, when the first sheep came behind the last one, he removed himself. So the sheep was following each other around the fire forever until they get tired. Because they're just following. There are many people in this country, because of their age group, they believe they are Gen Zs, and they are Gen Zs doing something, so let them do. We are Gen Zs, we are doing it. But they don't realize the so-called Gen Z was somebody's idea, which he planned, and then brought slogans for it, and told the country, these people have no leader, have no party, have no tribe. Where did they think even about that? But they used to write letters to take to the police that they want to go for maandamano. They used to organize concerts and go for those concerts. They used to go and salimia wale ambao hawataki, but they tell us they have no leadership. They used to organize political rallies online on a daily basis, but they were telling us they have no leadership. We can't be lied to. Wajinga waliisha Kenya.
So is it a creation of someone to bring the issues that these Gen Zs were talking about, talk of unemployment, talk of accountability, talk of corruption, talk of this wanton looting of public resources? These are the things that these young people were talking about. Your own president came out and told them that he was going to reduce the number of his advisors. What have we seen? Instead, he has even tripled them. The number is much bigger than what used to be there before. How do you blame Gen Zs for that?
All these people President William Ruto are being accused of worse were done under the previous regimes. And don't bring the argument that the fact that they were wrong then they should only be wrong now. They were done under the previous regime. These Gen Zs and their owners saw all this, but because the person was from their tribe, they did nothing. I was told that President William Ruto is a liar because he brought sheaf and said it will work and it is not working. President Uhuru invited us to Kisumu to launch universal health care, and we launched it at a stadium, and we were told it was going to work. It never worked, and President William Uhuru Kenyatta was never called a liar. And people never went to the country shouting everywhere, UHC is not working, it never worked at all. President William Ruto in a work. Now a few people are being brought in to say it is not working. And again, anything that is newly born will have teething problems. Even a baby, when it is born, it will cry when the teeth is speaking.
They say that the biggest undoing of President William Ruto is saying lies repeatedly. He promised, the price of gas cylinders, I don't know, was going to come to 400.
I think you need to be asking me one question at a time, because you ask me six questions. When I answer one, you come again. The others go unanswered. Let me tell you, I have explained to you that when you sit on that seat President William Ruto is sitting on, you will make 1,000 promises, 800 will come to pass as done, 200 may not, because you are promising with money that is also uncollected, with departments that are led by other people. President Moi once said that ukindesha hii gari kuna wengine ndani wezi, there are also such people. But one thing I want Kenyans to do, we must compare apples with apples, presidents with presidents. What did Uhuru do that made him such a good president that nobody went on the road that he was a liar? And I have explained to you that Uhuru was the first to launch universal health care, which President William Ruto came and launched under Taifa Care. And it failed, and nobody went to the streets.
So he was a greater liar than William Ruto?
He was a greater liar than William Ruto, and people never went to the streets.
But
because the people who are going to the streets are his clansmen. Let me tell you, we cannot say presidents are lying because I've explained to you why it comes out like that. He will give you 1,000 promises. He will give you 1,000 promises. And let me tell you, those people who are saying Ruto is a liar, if they are brought here with the Bible in their hand, swear if you have never lied, they will all say we have lied. So, the fact that what President William Ruto has done, like all human beings can do, are being taken to be sacrilegious offenses, is out of the sheer fact that some people believe that a Kalenjin cannot be president where they exist. That is the truth. You know, you people, I think you have not read the history of this country.
Tell me.
Even this thing that has come recently, that is so-called liberation. These liberations were not there during Kenyatta. But Kenyatta alikuwa anashiaga watu kama unga. Hata yeye alisema peke yake. But no Kenyans talked about liberation. But when Moi came, the liberation song began. And it was the hit song. And when Moi went, Kibaki came, liberation song died. Nobody wanted to liberate anybody from anything. But the largest scandal this country ever saw was Anglo-leasing, was during Kibaki. And you see, why Kibaki appeared to have been better than Moi was simple. Moi had a different constitution that wasn't so good. But when he changed it to democracy, that made Kibaki be elected, now the president started to treat carefully. And again, because Moi had ruled us for 24 years, and we had arranged all his sins together, the few that Kibaki did looked like an angel. But Kibaki wasn't any better. It is during Kibaki that the interior minister ordered Maasais to be shot as they were running away. It was during Kibaki that the Standard newspaper was told that when they rattle a snake, they will be bitten. And then people never saw those as bad things of a president. Hata hii matusi wanasema Ruto sometimes anatusi watu. Kibaki called people mavia kuku how many times? But nobody says Kenyans needs to be liberated, because we all understood that Kibaki would be there for 5 years, then we go and vote. If he's lucky to go back, he will not be there again. So liberation cannot be a word we use in his removal. Then came 2012. Uhuru came in, elected in 2013. What did he do? Including throwing dead bodies in River Yala. What did he do? Instead of using cars to run over people who are protesting his win. But nobody talked about liberation. Today, Martha Karua has come up in old age with wrinkled neck to come and tell us now he's forming a party that is called the Liberating Party of Kenya. Liberating who from who? Liberating who from
William Ruto?
William Ruto is the best president Kenya has ever had since independence. That is the truth. It is only that he is unlucky that he's now living in a time that we have social media we can use to disparage him. He's only unlucky that he's not a Kikuyu. He's only unlucky that Kenyans know their rights now. They can tell him anything that they could not tell Uhuru, or you disappear forever. You could not tell Kibaki, or you'll never be seen again. You could not tell Kenyatta because utawekwa kwa mashini ya kushiaga unga usiagwe. Hey,
let's move forward.
Yes.
Let's move forward. Tell me, we come to politics now. The former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, has the audacity to stand and threaten President William Ruto, says that if he comes to Meru, if he succeeds in removing the CJ from the office, then he will deal with him there.
Do you know, during President Kenyatta, talking anything close to that to a sitting president was tantamount to murdering 10 people in daylight. You would probably not even reach court. And today, of course I understand that was a long time ago. But even the other day during Uhuru here, nobody would tell a sitting president that nonsense.
How comes they are telling William Ruto?
They are telling William Ruto because he's a tolerant man. That is why I'm telling Kenyans, President William Ruto is the president this country has ever seen. In fact, The first time I saw this benevolence of President William Ruto and tolerance was when we had the maandamanos that Raila started in 2023. And at one time I told the president, these people who are leading the maandamano are the problem, not the people, because they were going to slums and people come out to see them and now they lead them into the street. When Uhuru was elected president and people wanted to go into the streets the way they went for Ruto, do you know the police, the GSU were outside the doors in Kibera, Mathare and everywhere. You could not even come out. And those people who were to lead them did not even leave their Karen houses or Muthaiga houses or whatever to go and lead them into the streets. They were put almost under house arrest and nobody complained. But Ruto left them to get out of their houses, go to the slums, remove people from their own houses to go and help them demonstrate against President William Ruto. I told them, first of all, the people you need to cane are these leaders who are going to remove people from their slums in Isili, from their slums in Mudhura, from their slums in Lakisama to come and demonstrate on the streets.
But they are speaking to the interest of the people. They are speaking the language of the people.
Let me tell you, in this country, there is always a way of doing things and solving every problem, either by way of court of law or by way of petitions or petitioning parliament or anything. Like when they wanted to remove Rigathi Gachagua, they went to parliament. But this idea of going to the streets, including going to the streets that a church has received money from a president, is the height of insanity. And you see, going to the street is not a sport. It was not put in the constitution as a sport that you go to the street for maandamano. No, it was put you go when what is your right, you can't receive it under the laws that are there, yet it is a human right. But we are going to the streets when we had already petitioned the Supreme Court about the presidential election. But you are still in the streets telling Kenyans how the presidential election was stolen and so we are in the streets. Did you want the president to come and declare, now that you have gone to the streets and destroyed public property, now I am stepping down from being president, come and be? What did they expect? The things that they were demanding from the streets, they should have demanded in courts or in parliament, and only go to the streets after those places had failed to serve them justice.
Gachagua said that Gema, if united and work together, would rule for 100 years, and they are out to make sure that President Ruto becomes a one-term president. And look, he's telling him on a broad daylight.
And that is the nonsense. And that is the nonsense Kenyans are not seeing. And when I see it and call it the correct name, they say I'm a tribalist. I am not a tribalist. When you go and say Gema would rule for 100 years, you are a bigger tribalist than me saying that the Kikuyus are anti-Ruto. Not the Kikuyu actually, the Kikuyu leaders are anti-Ruto. And so they are pulling the Kikuyu masses to help that then. But now they are anti-him. And even then, let me tell you, they were faced with Raila and Ruto, and they hated Raila more, so they went for Ruto. Even now, they are rejecting Ruto more because Ruto seemed to be embarrassing Raila. In fact, Ruto would be easier if he dropped Raila, because these people hate Raila more, and they hate Raila more because Raila is Luo. If there is any group of people that are propagating tribalism in this country, they are the leaders coming from the Mount Kenya community. A few of them, some are good, some are very good.
Do these people, these leaders you are talking about from Mount Kenya community, believe that Kenya is a gift to them from God, that they are the only people who can lead?
And sometimes you hear them talking about Wakenya, Wakenya. When they don't mean Wakenya, they simply mean Wakikuyu. They don't mean Wakenya. So you can see the context in which they are using that. I told you that this Gen Z thing came from the fake Mau Mau mafia. There's a new fake Mau Mau mafia that has come, led by Rigathi Gachagua. And they believe Kenya was meant for them. They believe they are the only ones who fought for independence, and if they fought for independence, they should remain in power forever. And you see, for them to achieve their goal, their selfish goal, they are now trying to pull Kamba to be part of Gema. And they are telling them that last A is Kamba. That last A is not K. It is A.
Why do Kikuyus, they refuse to vote for Raila Odinga? When he goes to AU, it is a problem. When he asks them for their votes, it is a problem. When he joins William Ruto, it is a problem. What exactly do they want?
The problem is the historical oaths that were taken by past Kikuyu leaders who believed in tribalism then. And these people who have come thereafter are born and they are growing in the culture of Luos are not good people. But I think these are some of the things we need to sit down under trees in Kikuyu land and in Luo land and we talk about. There was a time President Kenyatta and Raila Odinga tried, with Kikuyus visiting Bondo and Luos visiting Nyeri and elsewhere. The only reason why it didn't succeed, it was being done for very selfish reasons. Because Uhuru wanted to be an executive prime minister supported by the Luo. And of course Raila wanted to be president supported by the Kikuyus. But if it was being done in the interest of this community for their future and the future of their children, it would have succeeded, and it would have even put spots between the communities, intermarriage between the communities, and many other things, so that we solve this problem. But you see, the people they are calling tribalists are those who see the problem like me and is trying to find a solution for it.
Okay.
The ones they are saying are not tribalists are the ones who are seeing the problem and under the table are churning embers of fire so that it keeps on going. It helps them win elections.
Mwalimu, as we wind up, we're in a broad-based government and people expected that you people who were in UDA in Nyanza, probably maybe you were going to fall victims, but it seems like you are surviving.
I think the issue we have here today is if we are all in this to support President William Ruto, we should not come here to fight our own wars as a community. There's a problem that we have had in our people for a very long time, for generations. Our people are some of the people who can fight for a rat with the cat. But when the cat finally releases to them the rat, they will not even eat it. That is the problem we have. So you find people come in and they start praying, oh, Owidi should be fired, those so and so should be fired, those. And then when he's fired, you don't even have the qualifications to take his position. Somebody else, completely very far, who cannot even help you on anything, will take up the position. So that is the problem of jealousy. I hope these people who have come and left that jealousy behind. But nevertheless, I have noticed one or two MPs who are elected on an ODM ticket. Since we joined the broad-based government, in fact, since Raila Odinga signed the agreement with President William Ruto, all I have heard from them is attack on other politicians who were in UDA before. I have not heard them try to strengthen the relationship and also the position of the president in our community. But nevertheless, we will soldier on together, and I think President William Ruto is, I think, more than that kind of person you would walk into, tell him now, chase away the people you had before because I have come in. Because he knows, what about if you decide to go out again? Then he comes looking for them again that come and we go into this thing together. So I think for Kenya's stability, we must all learn to elect a president, give him the mandate to complete at least his term, to evaluate him for a period the same as we have evaluated the past presidents.
Is Rigiji capable of sending President William Ruto home as they have promised him?
He could have, but his approach is very bad because his approach is largely tribal. And we can see him from far, and we can tell the people that this person has come with a tribal agenda, with the tribal undertones, and we must tell him off. Unfortunately, when we tell him off, it is us who are being called tribalists. I remember Raila Odinga once told us that sometimes when a madman runs away with your clothes as you are showering, it is you who is now seen as mad. It is us who have come to tell Rigiji off about tribalism, who are being seen to be tribal.
What makes Rigiji think that all Gen Zs are Kikuyus?
Not all Gen Zs are Kikuyus, but he knew what he did, because I have told you time and again that the idea of Gen Zs was organized, planned, financed by them. The other agencies from other parts of the country just joined in, believing it was natural, believing it was organic, simply because many of the things they were talking about were truly happening in Kenya. But they have been happening in Kenya since time immemorial. We can only try to remove them pole until we get them out. But you cannot come up at the reign of one president and say we must have a magic one stick that we wave in the air and all the corruption goes away, all the other costs of living goes away and such things. No.
Thank you very much, Malemo. Your parting shot, maybe?
To the people of this country, my parting shot will always be the same. Kenya belongs to all of us. We must share all its resources equally, including positions of leadership. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
Mungu akulinde.
Asante sana.
Akuinue uwe mrefu kama mimi.
Thank you. With that, we've come to the end of our show tonight. I have been your host, Fred Ogweno. We were coming to you live from Game Suits Riverside here in Nairobi. Again, also don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube at Fred Ogweno Live. See you again next time, and we do it again, same place, same time. Bye-bye.